Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another Walking Dead character profile. This one is Sigh, on a Commonwealth trooper, known simply as Sorenson. Sorenson is of course male. He is played by John Pronzi. He is early to mid-50s and first appeared in Acheron Part 1. Nothing is known about Sorenson's life before the outbreak except he was a smoker. When it began, he found and joined the Commonwealth, becoming a trooper and joining the Commonwealth military. He also didn't like Trooper Garcia. Now, Sorenson also dies alongside at least 4 other GI special ops troopers who are all in black. And to be honest, I'm not going to try and pick them out. I'm just going to try and pick Sorenson out because there is no way I can identify the rest of them. Also, please note, Sorenson may appear in more scenes, but because he's in that goddamn armor, I just can't identify him all the time. So I've only included the scenes I definitely know he is in. In Season 11, Sorenson was one of the troopers on the wagon bringing Eugene, Ezekiel, Princess and Yumiko to the processing facility. He must have somehow mentioned he doesn't like Garcia, because Princess picks up on this, and he also must have had a cigarette, because again, Princess picks up on this. Sorenson is present with Mercer when a refugee is grabbed by another guard for reprocessing. Later, he is seen mulling about when Princess rattles off all the information she's picked up on about the troopers. Sorenson likely helped to split up Eugene and friends, and at night, he and another trooper arrive to bring in Eugene for more questioning. Sorenson is one of the troopers with Mercer as he's on his way to the little town hall. Princess momentarily distracts Mercer before he heads inside with his boss. Sorenson is also most likely one of the troopers to later arrest Eugene, Stephanie and everyone else, after they use a radio to contact Alexandria. He stands on guard when the criminals are kept in an office and John the lawyer comes to speak to them. After Eugene assaults Sebastian, Sorenson surrounds the man with his gun and then helps to arrest poor Eugene. Sorenson then accompanies Lance Hornsby and 15 other soldiers to investigate the scene at Riverbend. Again, I'm not sure which one he is here, but take your pick. And I guess, of course, all of his friends were here too. His 3 or 4 or 5 friends. His 4 friends, or his 3 friends, who knows. But I'm not bothering to identify them, like I said. Sorenson and friends travel with Daryl, Gabriel and Aaron and Lance through the woods, but Lance stops momentarily when they come across some dead, as he wants the Alexandrians to deal with them and show off, which they do. Lance then says great, and they continue on to the hilltop. Sorenson arrives at the hilltop with his group. There is some tension at first with Maggie. She doesn't want to let them in, but Daryl convinces her to open the gates. Sorenson helps to search the hilltop for evidence of the Riverbend attack, and he has his gun up ready to shoot when Lance is grabbed by Elijah, and there's a little bit of a standoff with Maggie and Daryl, but all is well in the end, and Sorenson leaves with his mates. Sorenson may have helped to track Leah, the Reaper, and at night he travels to her camp to discuss terms with her. Sorenson could have been one of the people who was shot by Leah, as their wounds aren't that fatal, but who knows. Anyway, Lance strikes a deal with Leah, and in the morning Sorenson calls for a coin flip, and he is assigned to the team that is going to be helping Leah to take out Maggie, along with the rest of his friends, who we get to see there, all of which he's going to be sharing his fate with. Later, Sorenson and the others are seen now out of their armour and instead in some black get-up. They're getting ready alongside Leah. He and his friends also likely see all the locusts flying up top, and they all head out following Leah. Sorenson and friends make their way to Hilltop. This like G.I. Joe looking dude with Lance though, I don't think he enters the Hilltop. He must hang back a little bit because we can only see Sorenson there and at least 3 other people. But they sweep the Barrington house with the target of locating Maggie and friends and killing them. They head down the main stairs after sweeping the top floor, it seems. Sorenson then sees a light behind a door downstairs. He signals his friends to follow him and cover him. He creeps to the door and slowly opens it when this happens to Sorenson and all of his friends. Killed by a booby trap set by Maggie and friends. One of his friends actually reanimates into this gnarly looking walker, and then he is shot and killed by that Black Ops G.I. Joe man that I talked about before, who must have hung back a bit. So in terms of how many others were killed, there's at least 3. So I think it's just 3. Anyway, Sorenson's body is likely eventually either buried or dumped when Maggie clears up the hilltop. R.I.P. Sorenson. But it's actually pronounced Sorenson, so I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. But this video is already late for members as is, so I don't care. I just don't care. Sorenson, however you say it. He was just a trooper, and it was very annoying to try and track him in every scene. And listen, he's played by John Pronzi. John Pronzi has played like a million different extras. He's crazy, so there's like an added thing on there too. Bro, listen, we're done with all the dead, named Commonwealth troopers now. And I really don't enjoy doing the Commonwealth troopers. I've got through all the named ones that are dead, so that's enough. Will I eventually cover the alive ones or the ones with unknown statuses? Who knows. Anyway, let's spin the wheel to see what's next. Ow, my knuckles. Let's pick another character profile. Who will it be? Who will it be? Felipe and Jorge. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's what I've wanted for a while. Felipe and Jorge. Let's go.